Colour Me Cosy, where we play with colour and have a fabulous time doing so. My name is Therese and I am a huge colour enthusiast, and one of my favourite ways to play with colour is through ice dyeing. It is very easy, quite straightforward. There is a little bit of a setup, but don't worry, I will talk you through it. Normally I would be dyeing fabric for the quilts that I make at Colour Me Cosy, but today we're doing something a little different, and this is a tutorial for dyeing clothing. You should have your kit already, but if you don't, head to Colour Me Cosy Craft at Etsy, and you will be able to find kits for, there's crop shirts, there's regular length shirts, there's jumpers, there's hoodies, and at the moment there's 3 different colour blends, but there will probably be more because why not? So today we're doing this super fun blue, yellow and watermelon blend. It's inspired by, I think like chrysanthemum, I can't say the word, chrysanthemum flowers. Just the super bright, summery, we're coming into summer here in Australia, so that's why I went for this colour blend. I've got a regular length shirt that I will be dyeing today. In your kit you will have 2 pieces of clothing, but today I'm just doing the one shirt, and you do the exact same process with the other shirt. You can do them both at the same time if you have a big enough tub. But today I've got this little tub with me, so I'll do one shirt. All the fiddly things you will need to do ice dyeing will be in your kit. The only things that you will need to provide is water, a container that's big enough to fit your clothing in it, a rack that will fit in the container to kind of hold your clothing above the melted water, and you will need ice. You will need more ice than you probably think. So for this shirt, I'll get a bag of ice from the fuel station, and I'll use like maybe a third or half a bag for one shirt. If you have a hoodie and a shirt, you will use probably the whole bag, the whole 5 kilo bag to cover it. You need to make sure that it's fully covered with ice, because as the ice melts, it carries the dye down through the fabric, and if there's not enough liquid moving through the fabric, you will have big white patches left on the bottom of your clothing, which you may love. But if you want a full coverage, you need lots of ice. So the rest of the things will be covered in your kit box, and I'll just show you them now. Okay, so the container, the rack, the water, the ice, the towel, you will need to supply, but what you will get in the kit is the clothing, of course. You will get a mask because it's a powder. It is a chemical powder, so please wear the mask to stop from inhaling any of the powder. You have gloves. This is called a colour catcher. So after you've finished dyeing and you've washed out your clothing, you'll throw it in the washing machine with one of these, and this will just catch all the extra dye from the clothing, so it won't bleed onto the rest of your washing. So you'll need to throw this in, this colour catcher. You have a teaspoon for sprinkling the dye. You also have a ½ tablespoon measure. I included these because once you use them for the dyeing, you can't use them in the kitchen again. It is, like I said, these are chemicals. You cannot cross-contaminate, so these are just for your dyeing project, and they can stay in your craft cupboard. And this is a ½ tablespoon measure. And these are your dye colours. We have robin egg blue, citrus yellow and watermelon today. So it's going to be a super fun, bright, summery colour blend. We also have soda ash. So we need to soak the clothing in a soda ash solution before we can dye it, because the soda ash just opens up the fibre of the clothing to allow the dye to really get in there and set and stay. So each of these tubs has got 6 cups worth of solution in them. You will need 2 of these per cup of water. So this is enough for 6 cups of solution. This is enough for the other 6 cups. I'm just doing the one shirt, so I'll only need 1. If you're doing a hoodie as well or another shirt, you could probably do 2 shirts with just one of these, but if you're doing a jumper or hoodie, you will need to use both. So that's why they're in 2 separate containers. So you can you can do that. So that's everything you need to do ice dyeing. Now we are going to create the soda ash solution to soak the clothing, and we'll get to that right now. Okay, 6 cups of water, that over there, put my gloves on. Alright, I could just pour this whole thing in, but I'm pedantic, so I'm going to count out 6 cups. 6 cups worth of soda ash. I'm just going to get the spoon and now just mix it until it stops going cloudy, until all the soda ash is dissolved. Done. You just have a slightly thicker looking water, if that makes sense. Time to put the shirt in. Really just kind of, as you put it in, just like open it up, open the folds, flip it over. Just make sure that the solution has really gotten soaked into every part of the shirt. So just put that in there. It's trying to float a little. Your clothing will be sent to you pre-washed, so it will soak up the solution really easily, but still, just kind of open it up, make sure that it gets into every part, because if the solution doesn't soak into a part of the shirt, the dye will not hold, and you will have big patches of the shirt with no colour, which, like I said before, could look kind of cool, but maybe not the look you're going for. So, yeah, make sure that it's really taking in the solution. Okay, that is good. I will leave this for at least 20 minutes. To be honest, I often put in the solution, start another job and completely forget about it for much longer than 20 minutes, but yeah, at least 20 minutes. That gives you time to sauce your ice, make sure you've got enough ice, and then I'll come back, squeeze it out and put it on the rack. I'll see you then. Welcome back. So it's been at least 20 minutes since you started soaking this, and not to brag, but I had a very productive 20 minutes. I washed out some dyeing that I had going in the other room. I sauced my ice, ate some leftover birthday cake, so I had a good 20 minutes. But now your clothing should be completely soaked. So you just need to pull it out and squeeze it out. You can soak the shirt in the container that you're going to do the dyeing in. I chose to use a different container because I had a different container to use, and I'm going to save it and use it again for other dyeing. You can save the dye solution and use it again for other things for several weeks. It does start to get a smell after a while, so you may decide to pour it out after a while, but you can keep it and reuse it. So I'm just going to put that there. Got my container here with my rack, and I'm just going to unfold the shirt and then just kind of like scrunch it up in the container like that, and I will give you a closer look. You can see that it's lightly scrunched up, just like that, just to give a bit of texture as the ice melts through it. Now I've got my trusty bag of ice. I'm just going to open it. I'm going to start with this and spread it around so every bit of the shirt is covered by ice. Yep, that is all covered. Because remember, you need enough liquid carrying the dye to pull the dye all the way through the clothing. So plenty of ice on top. Gonna grab a tissue. This is just to wipe the spoon between each sprinkling. I'm going to start with watermelon. I'm gonna leave the yellow one to the last because that spreads a lot. So leaving the yellow one to the end. I'm gonna, oh my goodness, my gloves are wet. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was very afraid that the dye would spill in the kit box, so I tied it on very tight. But here we go. I just kind of create patterns. Remember to leave space for the other two colours. I'm just gonna sprinkle. So you can do anything you want with this, of course. This is your shirt, your colours. You can choose to use 2 of the colours for this one, and then the next one for the other piece of clothing. You could start top and bottom, so you have the blue, and then the red, then the yellow. You could do however colour blended you want it to be. So that's that one. Try and Robin Eggs Blue. And if you notice, this dye powder is a bit, watermelon's quite fluffy. This one is a bit denser, which means the denser the dye, you're gonna have to use a bit more to get the coverage, because it's not as fluffy, so it needs a little bit more dye on it than you would the other one. So again, I'm just doing spludges. Where else do I want? There. You have plenty of dye left over for any other craft projects that you want to do. So you have soda ash solution left over, dye left over, soda ash itself left over. Sky is the limit for you, as long as you make sure it's got to be cotton fabric that you're dyeing. Cotton, linen, any natural fabric you can dye. If it's polyester, the dye won't hold, even if you soak it in that. You need to use a different type of dye for polyester. But this is a cotton shirt. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the yellow, because I find that it actually spreads and takes over a lot. So I'm just doing little bits of citrus yellow. And put a little bit in this corner. Do a little bit there. I think it's mostly blue in that corner, but give it a try. Done. Okay. Now that you have the ice and the dye on your shirt, you've got to leave it 24 hours. Even after the ice looks like it's melted, it is still soaking through the rest of the fabric. So if you pull it too quick, again, the bottom part won't be fully saturated with colour. So I just realised that my shirt is similar colours to what I'm dyeing today. So yeah, leave it 24 hours, and that way you can be absolutely sure the ice is melted, the bottom of the shirt is dyed as well, and then you can rinse it. So I will see you tomorrow. So it's been 24 hours, it's the next day. It is all melty and colourful, and I was going to show you a time-lapse video of the ice melting because I really enjoy watching these videos, but my phone battery died, so sorry. So now we're going to take it to the laundry, and we're going to rinse it out in cool, slightly warm water until it runs as clear as you can get it. Like people do say, like, until the water runs clear. That takes a really, really long time. Particularly with the red, it's going to be running, it's going to have a little bit of colour in it for a really long time, which is what the colour catcher is for. So, like I said before, the colour catcher captures all the loose dye particles as you wash it, and so we're gonna take it, rinse it, wash it now. Wash it, and then you can wear it, you can use it, that's fine. The next time you go to wash it by itself one more time, and then after that you can throw it in a load of light colours, and as long as you've used this previously, the dye will not spread to other colours. I have shirts and that I've thrown in just regular washes
and it hasn't faded, it hasn't transferred the dye colours at all. It's been really great. So yeah, that's what we're going to go do now. So once you've rinsed it, put it in the washing machine. It can just be a quick load. For as hot as around 40 degrees is what my machine can do, I think. So go as hot as you can, and that will get out and that will get out as much of the loose dye particles as it can. So let's go do that.